Hello, my name is Adefemi Davis, and this is Ethos. Growth in business. What does it mean? What does it mean to grow in business? What does it mean to grow your business? Growth could mean increase in income. Growth could mean, no, not necessarily income. Growth could mean increase in profit, which means when you compare, after you take expenditure out of income, whatever is left, when there is an increase in that, then you can say you're experiencing growth. Growth could mean increase in labor force. Growth could mean increase in floor plan, which meant the size of your space, the space in which you're conducting your business. Growth could also mean increase in branches. All right. But whichever form of growth your business is ready for comes with its own unique challenges. And as entrepreneurs, it's your responsibility to preempt these challenges and work about them, work towards mitigating them when they arise, because they will definitely arise. Let's take growth in manpower. You start a business and you have a staff of 5 members, so you have to deal with just 5 headaches because all these people will have unique personalities. Sometimes you need them to work as a team, but because Mr. A is not talking to Miss B or Mrs. B, all right, there's a bit of tension in the air and it could affect your productivity. Or Mr. A is just a difficult person to work with, or Miss B is a lazy individual, or Miss C or Mrs. C, all right, prioritizes every other thing but your work. There's always an excuse for something. Oh, my kids did this today. My husband had this challenge, so I'm sorry I came late. This, that. All right. Now, you have 5 members means you have 5 headaches to deal with. But when your business requires increase in manpower, then you have to understand that as you're bringing in new people into your space, then it simply means that more headaches will follow, because now you have so many personalities. Think of yourself as the proprietress or the proprietor of a school, and you have 500 students. And they have unique traits, they have unique personalities. So yes, on one side, you're thankful that you have students, all right, your classrooms are filled, all right, yeah, it's a sign of progress. But now you have 500 students with different personalities. Some of them will have bullying traits. Some of them will find it difficult to grasp what the teacher teaches, all right. Some of them might be liars. Some of them might be thieves, all right. They steal their classmates' things. And you have to come up with, should I say, blueprint? It's a blueprint, but it's a blueprint that always changes to deal with this situation as they arise. Now, a person who has 100 students or 100 pupils in his or her school will all have as many headaches to deal with as you. Now, apart from the students, maybe for 500 students, you now have 40 teachers. And so 40 teachers means another 40 unique personalities. And maybe you now have 2 or 3 drivers. The drivers also come with the headaches. You have 3 or 4 security guards, unique headaches. Maybe your school provides boarding facilities. So you have cleaners, you have janitors, you have people that caterers or chefs. So you're on one side, you're happy that, oh, my school is flourishing, but you now have to deal with personalities. Now in leadership, at least I learned this when I was in school. We had theory X form of leadership. We had theory Y form of leadership. Theory Y form of leadership was more laid back. All right, you were more liberal, you were more forgiving. Theory X leadership was you running the place like a machine, like a system. You come up with with sets of rules, and you are rigid when it comes to those rules. Anybody who breaks these rules, all right, will face disciplinary action, which might be suspension, maybe reduction in pay, or maybe expulsion in the case of pupils, or layoff of staff member. So I think that when it comes to manpower, you have to merge both. You have to be tough. The theory X, you can read up on theories X and Y of leadership. You have to be able to know when to apply theory X and know when to apply theory Y. But I think effective management requires both. So as your business is growing, you're thankful. You're thankful for the staff. They were probably the ones that handled most of the jobs that brought more money, and now you have to expand your business. But if you're too thankful, if you're too grateful, if you're too kind, then they will walk over you. So if you're too tough, then they start seeing you as ungrateful. They start thinking, whatever it is she achieved, we achieved it. We are at the back end. Most CEOs right now, they are at the front end. Say, for example, you run a patisserie, a confectionery, for example. There are many people right now who are the face of the brand. The bread, the croissant, the cakes, sponge cake, fruit cake, this cake. But they're not the bakers. They are pretty faced, they talk well, they create beautiful content on social media, but the people who actually do the baking, the people who go to the market to buy the flour and the ingredients, the nutmegs and what have you, they're in the back end. They don't show. Now your business is growing. The truth is, the back end, you must recognize that the back end is the reason for this growth. When I get these orders, yes, I'm the face that they see. I'm the front end of my business. All right, but the people who actually make sure that a cake gets to its location on time may not necessarily be you. So yes, you are harmonizing many resources. You are harmonizing many people. All right, there are efforts in a bid to achieve organizational goal, which is good. But you must not poo-poo the fact that without those people, you can't get anything done. If I get 10 orders now, and I don't have people to go and buy this, or you turn on the generator, you are driving so cake to Oshodi, you're driving this cake to Mafoluku, you are taking this one to Lekki, dispatch rider, you are going this way. If all these people say we are not coming to work tomorrow, then all my 10 orders will fail. I will fail in the discharge of the duty. So you have to be grateful on one side, but you also have to be tough when you need to be. So that's my own approach to managing growth when it comes to manpower. Growth in terms of, say, income and expenditure. There are dynamics to it. And you must have great fiscal planning abilities, the ability to manage fund. All right. Now, when fund comes in, it comes in, say, well, it depends on the kind of service you're providing. Some people are in manufacturing, they sell commodities in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. Say biscuits, for example, say Yale, say Sumar, they sell tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of units of their commodities. But let's look at the service industry. I'm servicing 10 clients. I'm on a retainer of, say, 50,000 every month from 10 clients. So I know that 500,000 comes into my company from these 10 clients. I have a staff of 3 members. I pay 100,000 to each of them. So 300,000, and then I have to, say, spend another 100,000 running the company. All right, your transportation here, generator there. So I'm spending 400,000 running the company, but we are servicing 10 clients at 50,000. Now, let's say for whatever reason I think it's time to grow, and I say I'm increasing retainership fee to 75,000. So it becomes 750,000. And then the 75,000, I now even get, maybe my company just blows on social media, and from 10, I move to 40 clients. So now I have 40 clients paying me 75,000 naira. Prior to this, I had 10 clients paying me 50,000 naira each. Now 40 clients paying 75,000 naira each. So now I have jumped from 500,000 naira to 3 million. You have to ask yourself, even if I double the salaries of these people, they don't have what it takes. These 3 people don't have what it takes to attend to 40 clients every month. So what do I do? Can I double their salary and still get 3 more people? Or should I leave their salary as it is and get 9 people extra so that they're kind of still doing the same work they were doing? All right, but now they're not under pressure because the works of 40 clients will now be spread across 12 people. You need to be able to do a CBA, a cost benefit analysis. If I bring in 9 members, what do I stand to gain? What do I stand to lose? Do I have the strength to manage 12 personalities? Because before I was managing 3 people, I had to shout at only 3 people. I had to be liberal when I have to at only 3 people. Maybe I even have to buy lunch for just 3 people. Or when there is overtime, I have to give only 3 people something extra. So what is the solution? Are these 3 people underutilized? Okay, are they underutilized? Can they still do more if they get more money? Or should I increase their money a bit, but bring in more people to assist to increase my? Should I increase my labor force? So the dynamics are plenty. There are books about these things, but before you just pray for growth, because deep down many of us are praying for breakthrough. Many of us are praying for growth. Many of us are joining Hallelujah Challenge so that our businesses can expand. The question you should ask yourself is, if you get that type of clients that you are hoping for right now, do you have the wisdom, the tenacity, the knowledge to satisfy that client? These are deep questions. And if you have not prepared yourself for that growth, if it comes to you unannounced, you can fail. There's an expression, I think it's Latin, Victoria amat curam. Victory favors preparation. Victory loves preparation. That means before growth comes into your life, you must have mentally prepared yourself for the growth. If you're doing business, say in your father's compound, maybe your father gives you a space and you're doing business and you're doing well. The moment you move into a better space on the main road, you must have told yourself, this new place I'm going, what are the tenement rates I'm supposed to pay? Apart from the rent I'm giving the landlord, I'm going to put a signboard out there. What am I supposed to pay LASA? What am I supposed to pay OISA? What am I supposed to pay my local government? All right. Or maybe you run business for 5 years without registering with the Corporate Affairs Commission. Now you want to take on a client. The client says, no, I can't pay into a personal account. I have to pay into a business account. Have you prepared yourself for that? These questions are for me as they are for you. There are clients that you will meet right now. They will tell you, I cannot transfer 10 million into a personal account. All right. You may not even be dealing with the CEO of the company. You might be dealing with the accountant who says, oh, it is company's policy. We don't pay into personal account. So you must have preempted before you pray on Hallelujah Challenge, before you pray, before you scream amen when Joshua Selman is prophesying growth. You must have told yourself, when I meet this type of company, am I ready for what it takes? I'm asking myself that question too. I've been in business 20 years and there are still questions that I have left unanswered. All right, so it's not just about growth. You must mentally prepare yourself for the growth. You must mentally prepare yourself for the headaches. I was talking to someone, I don't know, was it yesterday or today? I said, it's possible that, no, it's not possible. I am sure that I sleep way more than Aliko Dangote does. I still get 8 hours of sleep, sometimes 9 hours. When I am pressed for work, it may drop to 6. Yeah, 5 in some cases, and then I'll sleep off the rest some other time. But I am pretty sure that because of the infrastructure that Aliko Dangote has to handle, all right, he has to sleep less. I remember he said in an interview that he bought a private jet, and because Nigeria to China was about 14 hours, and his pilots would need, I can't remember the details now. I think they would need a day to refresh, to revitalize before they could fly back. And he said because he did not have a day to spare, he had to sell the jets. So he now travels on commercial airlines and not private jets, so that he can get to China, do a meeting, and fly back. But with the private jets, his pilots could not fly back almost immediately because they needed to rest. So growth involves a lot of mental acuity. On the marital front, for example, a lot of couples are not ready for growth. They're all lovey-dovey. The husband sees the wife whenever he wants. And, the love is there. The father is a wonderful father to his kids. They play, they gist, they watch videos together. They have fun. Then the big clients come. And the wife cannot be available all the time. That's where you see some men say things like, I think you'll have to resign from your job. You must have mentally positioned yourself that the moment I am marrying somebody who is knowledgeable, say she has a degree. She maybe even has a master's degree. That means she's positioning herself for growth. So when you're marrying her, even before that growth comes, you must have told yourself that someday this girl will not be this available. Someday this man will not be this available. Someday my wife. I had this conversation with someone many years ago, and we were talking about marriage. Then I was unmarried. She was a close friend, and we were just talking. I said, a lecturer who is on, let's say he works in Unilag, and his salary is 300,000 naira. A man, and his wife works with, say, Airtel or MTN, and her salary is 2 million. She makes maybe times 6 what he makes. And he expects her to close from work and come and be a loving and doting wife. He can't get both. Sometimes you just cannot have your cake and eat it. All right? Her salary cost is 2 million every month, but she has to close from work at 7 p.m. She spends 1 hour, 30 minutes in traffic. So she gets home by 8:30, and she has to leave home 5:30 latest the following day so that she can get to work before 8. And the man is saying he expects her to make dinner. It's not possible. By the time she gets home after 7, she is tired. She is exhausted. Sometimes you even want to have sex. She's not in the mood. So you have to ask yourself, you have to place both side by side. You do a cost-benefit analysis. My family makes 2 million naira from my wife. But because we make 2 million naira, I can't get sex 4 times a day, 4 times a week, like I would love to. My wife cannot be involved in my children's academics like I would want her to. My wife cannot cook delicacies for me like I would want her to. These are hard questions, but these are questions we must answer. Growth always comes with unique challenges. Ask the billionaires of this world. Many of them are not loving fathers. When I mean loving fathers, they love their children, but they cannot show it as much as they would love to. If I invested $20 billion, like Aliko Dangote did, over the course of 8 years on refineries, chances are I would visit that refinery almost every day for 8 years. Now, if my children are, say, in Abuja or in Kano, it means that I may not see my children more than 10 times in a year. So my children have to recognize that though my father is a billionaire, I don't get to see him all the time. So when they're having conversations with their friends, and their friends are saying, oh, my daddy is so this, my daddy and I were gisting today, they must understand that the reason why they cannot have a gisting partner as a father, for a father, is that he has to manage a conglomerate. So before you pray for growth, before you seek growth, before you fast for growth, are you mentally prepared? A lot of people want to travel abroad right now for the good life so that they can work and get paid. But the system is designed such that you work before you eat. The bills are heavy. The bills are maybe 10 times, 20 times what many people are used to in Nigeria. Someone was telling me someday, she said she paid £544 for electricity. And because, I have the Niger blood in me, I calculated and I was like, you paid, then I said you paid over $500,000 for electricity. It will probably take me, and I'm not exaggerating, where I stay right now, it will probably take me maybe 5 years. Maybe 5 years. I'm sure more than 5 years to incur that amount in electricity bills. And somebody paid it in 1 month. So when people travel abroad, they have prayed for it, they have fasted, their pastor has spoken over their lives. Then they get abroad, then the man says, oh, our sex life has reduced. Oh, the romance has dropped. Or the woman is complaining, you don't have time for me anymore. You used to buy me gifts. But now the man has to be an Uber driver. He has to work 10 hours, 12 hours, or he has to do DoorDash. So you don't get to see him for 12 hours. When he comes home, he just pecks you, oh, welcome. Sometimes you even say, oh, your food is ready. He says, you know what, I had fast food outside. I just want to have a bath and go to sleep. So in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you've not had sex. In 3 weeks, he has not cuddled you. And you now go for counseling. And you go and tell people, my husband doesn't love me anymore. He loves you. But he's in an environment where he makes more money. But to make more money, he has to sacrifice a large chunk of his love life. So, whether it is growth in floor plan, which could be moving, say, from your father's cabin to a headquarters, where you now have to pay times 20 what you were paying as NEPA bills. All right? Or you now have to deal with so many laws. Imagine I want to put up a structure in Lagos. There are so many things that I have to, there are so many approvals that I have to get. But when I was doing the business in my father's house, I did not have to deal with these approvals. The moment I put up a signboard, some people come and say, you know what, take down the signboard or pay us 200,000 naira. And then I'm dealing with the stress. Or maybe I do a frozen food business and I had a freezer and I could cater to people in my neighborhood. I had one Okada rider that would just go and in one day, it could make 15, 20 orders. And I was doing well. I could make a profit of about 120, 150,000 naira every month. And I was okay. And now, someone has invested 10 million naira in my business. I have gotten bigger showroom. I have gotten cold rooms. But with cold rooms, now I have to get bigger generators. Now I have to buy diesel. All right? Or farming. How many of you are familiar with what we call egg lot? Where farmers, the many of the eggs that they produce, they don't have buyers for them. The chicken, the hens are producing more eggs than they can sell. So eventually, some of the eggs, all right, they would have to dispose of them. Or because of maybe infections, they have to inject all their layers with antibiotics. And when they inject all their layers with antibiotics, when the layers produce eggs, the eggs at that period, they are unsafe for human consumption. So they have to dispose of them. But if they don't give the hens antibiotics, the infection would spread. There are farms that have 30,000 hens. There are farms that have 10,000 hens. So when you have 50, you go there in the morning, you go there at night, you're good, you can still press your phone. But a farmer that has 30,000 eggs, by the time he walks the entire farms and changes the water, all right, packs the A, all right, puts new A, he probably does not even have time to check his phone. So a wife could now say, oh, you went all day, you did not even check up on me. You did not even check up on the kids. Growth always comes with challenges. So you must have the mental strength, the mental capacity to handle it. My name is Adefemi Davis, and this has been Ethos.